Thank you, Linda. Super happy to be here physically. So I'd like to start by asking the audience a question. Have you thought about what you as an individual can do about climate change? I'm sure you have, because there is plenty of proof that people around the world are looking for ways to act for the climate. People want to make a difference, and they are eager to understand how. So that is what Deedster is about, to enable and accelerate the shift to sustainable lifestyles. So how do we accomplish that? Well, we have developed a suite of digital tools that help people understand the impact of their consumption and their living, to help them make informed and conscious decisions of how to spend money and how to act. And we also find a way to find those consumers, to reach out to those consumers where they are, as employees in a workplace or as consumers on a bank platform or a retail platform. Because these companies, banks, retailers, and corporates, they really need and they are under pressure to develop truly sustainable brands. And they need tools like Deedster to do that. So in our solution, we present a digital climate footprint, your individual climate footprint based on buying transactions, climate data, receipt data, market data, your actions. And based on all the data that we can present, so we present them in an entertaining and meaningful way, we can produce actionable insights. So concrete actions that you can take as a consumer to reduce the impact of your spendings and your living. And to make it even more interesting, we introduce incentives and rewards. So we use gamification to maintain and trigger the attention of the user. And we introduce things like compete and compare, so collect scores, badges, streaks. And we introduce economical incentives related to the place on the platform where you use Deedster. Things like discounts, access to green financial products, green micro savings, etc., etc. And we present this in a relevant and intriguing, exciting user experience, whether it is in our white label app or it is as a function under the hood of a e-commerce or a bank platform. It is tuned for purpose. Because we find our users and achieve impact by applying a B2B2C business model. With our technology, businesses like banks, retailers, and corporates, they improve the sustainability performance of their brand and their business. And at the same time, we scale our reach and we fund our growth. So we call our offerings Deedster at Work and Deedster Inside. And let me give you a couple of examples. So the leading insurance company of the world, Swiss Re, they realized that the climate impact of their workforce was 6 times the impact of their operations. So they decided to launch a global program for climate action and engagement across the organization, reaching 13,000 employees spanning 26 countries. And they choose Deedster to do that. Another example, Deedster Inside. So Qliro, a Nordic payment provider, was the first payment provider to launch climate action in their app. So they present a transaction-based climate footprint to 2.5 million users, delivered by Deedster via APIs. So this Corona year that we just going through has been a breakthrough year for Deedster. At this point, we have delivered our API-based solutions and white label app to more than 60 paying company customers, spanning 30 countries at this point. And we have reached engagement metrics we are really proud of. Adoption rates more than 70%. People spend 6 to 9 minutes in the app per day in our app functions. And at this point, the users on our platform, they had delivered more than 500,000 deeds, 500,000 actions for the climate. Financially, we are tracking well ahead of this curve, but we see huge opportunities of multiplying that growth if we expand our capacity. That's why we are planning a scale-up funding round by the end of this year. So this issue really deserves our attention and our efforts. If you want to join us as investors, co-workers, or customers, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for listening. I had one more second, Linda.
Thank you, Niklas. And now it's time for questions. 4 minutes. So here you go.
So thank you, Niklas. And please come and see us at North Zone if you want to raise capital at the end of this year.
Be happy to.
So I see you target both the corporate clients and individuals. It's very difficult to do both. So how have you split it, and what's your go-to-market for each?
So we're actually not targeting individuals and consumers directly. We go purely through B2B, so to corporates, banks, and retailers.
Okay, and
that
how
is
do
our
you
model.
reach them?
So how we approach them?
How do you reach them? What's your go-to-market there?
So, well, we come from a wide network of working with corporates, the founder team, 20 years with banks and brokers all over the world. So we have had, well, it's been quite easy to reach them in the first round. Now we are developing our inbound sales strategies, so online marketing, obviously, and for the employee engagement track, corporates, the customers are really coming to us. There is such a demand for these services right now.
Great. Could you give an example of a deed and how, what the impact is or how it's changed?
Yeah, so there are so many deeds. We have hundreds of deeds on the platform. And the idea is to make it easier at first, so small things we can do, like, shutting the lights when we leave a room, and take the bike a little bit more often, and choose certain meals. Maybe try vegan and vegetarian if we didn't do that before. So they are obviously personalized. But then it can be more complicated. So look at your savings, look at your the type of energy solution you have in your house. Could you possibly install solar panels at some point? Can we choose green energy? That's obviously a good choice. So everything from small things we do on a daily basis, we call them habits, and we like to track them and get all the streaks and everything. But also to more like project-like sort of deeds.
So some of them are very, some of them are tracked by the individual, and I imagine that some of them are easier to track. Like, for example, if you're spending, you can get data points on what you buy on your credit card, for example, how you spend that money. But if you turn the lights out, it has to be tracked by an individual. So it ranges from very physical to very digital.
That's right, and I think that the mix is interesting because there is a platform working for you all the time, collecting the transactions, sort of giving you the truth, but you can mix in your own actions. And the thing is with Deedster that when you do actions, you have a footprint that actually responds directly to your changes. So you can sort of track and set your own targets and see on a weekly basis how you perform against where you want to be. If you want to become a 7 tons of carbon dioxide per year, sort of an annualized footprint. And to make that engaging, that engaging solution is the key to actually get people to act rather than just presenting a number.
And since you have a white label solution for your API, do you only go direct or do you go through partners as well?
If we sell this via partners, so currently we're just selling it straight off our platform. So the distribution model is obviously interesting as we're looking to scale. So that is what we put a lot of focus on right now. So inbound sales strategies and distribution models.
Okay.
Maybe you can help with that.
Yeah, maybe.
So how do you work with the user interface? I guess the way you present the deeds and personalize them would affect how effectively you can make a change in behavior. Do you do insights and do you in some way automate this presentation?
Yes, it's so if the customer use sort of our app white label, it comes very nicely in a nice sort of graphical format. If they use an API-based service, they obviously choose the format and the interface. But
thank you, Niklas.
I was just about telling you the story.
You can finish with the sentence.
Yeah. So then I think so present that automated in the right place, typically in a bank app or on an e-commerce platform. So how do I do to reduce my returns, and how do I think about transportation, about when I buy things online? So having that in the right place is sort of a key to.
Thank you, Niklas, and I hope you got your answers. Otherwise, they have to call you tonight or something.
Well, I'll be here.
Okay.
See you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Niklas.